So okay. Okay, so Sivan-san, please give your speech.
So everyone is like, they're seeing me here?
Yes.
Everyone is hearing me?
Yes.
On the online?
This is webinar.
Huh?
This is
Okay.
webinar. They cannot speak.
They can see me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So like, first of all, let me to start to despite these situations, I'm very happy, first of all, that we could make these events happen. And of course, like our heart is with all of you in Israel. And we pray that these situations will end very, very soon. Let's pray for that. And we're looking forward to see you very, very soon in Japan, because there is no other option. So please stay safe until it's happened, because we are going to see you, all of you, all of you here. So today I'm very, very happy to welcome all of you to Sivan's lab. And I'm very proud that such a significant gathering on these important topics is held here in Sivan's lab. I would like to thank the special guest, Dr. Matsubara-san. Thank you very much for taking the times to come here. Thank you very much. Impact 51, Michal and Michal. I'm sad that you couldn't be here today physically. Very sad, but I'm very happy to see your faces, and I'm looking forward to see you very, very soon in Japan. To Nachi Katz, same to you. Said you couldn't be with us today, but glad you managed to be with us from Israel. And to all the startups that are going to be presenting, I'm very excited to hear about your new inventions. And finally, I would like to thank Kita-san. Thank you, Kita-san, for putting these events, in such a short times. And I'm very, very happy that we could make it happen, even if it's online. But the most important thing is that we are all here. So first, as a woman, I first of all have a commitment, not only as a female entrepreneur, supports females in business and tech, but to understand the unique health needs of women. We need empower. It's all about empowering women to take control of their well-being. Historically, a woman's conditions when it comes to pregnancy, menopause, sexual health, these situations were historically stigmatized. But this is a conversation that we need to normalize. We have to speak loud and have everyone discuss this, men's and women's. I'm very happy that we have few men here today. Great. And through these dialogues between all of you here, we can give every woman in the world access to the healthcare she needs. All the technology here can accelerate the times to that day. So I'm looking forward to seeing the topics of today's sessions. We should promote diversity and inclusivity and finally reduce this gender gap. And yes, I believe that this is a big movement that is transforming women, empowering women, and inspiring innovation in this health tech industry. I believe, of course, that women know best about women's issues, but our agenda is to make sure that males knows even more about women's issues, to create and spread and open dialogues, but this is just the starting point. So here at Sivan's lab, where different minds meet, we welcome the FemTech community to build up together. We are here to support and spread the words. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sivan-san. It's very powerful message from you. And then, I wanna provide short explanation in Japanese. So, 今話してくださったのがシバンさん、中村シバンさんで、このシバンズラボ、シバン株式会社を、日本でやられていて、ここのシバンズラボをご提供してくださっている方です。で、彼女のご縁でインパクト51のお二人とつながってですね、今日のイベントが実現いたしましたので、ちょっと補足をしてご説明をさせていただきました。So, we're gonna go into the program, and then I wanna invite two Michals, Michal and Michal from Impact 51 to talk about global trend of women's health and the introduction of Impact 51. So Michals, floor are yours. We can see your slides now. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kita-san. So hello, everyone. Thank you, Sivan-san and Kita-san, for the warm welcome and for generously providing this incredible platform, as well as to all of you for taking time from your busy schedules to join us today. Though we cannot be there in person as planned, your presence makes this gathering very meaningful for us. We are delighted to present the field of FemTech and women's health. Today, we will delve into FemTech, exploring its challenges, but equally important, the opportunities it brings. We will examine how innovation can serve as a driving force for transformative change in a field that has long been burdened by unmet needs and lack of innovation. And we would love to share the Impact 51 model with you. The intersection of technology and women's health has the potential to revolutionize the way that we approach and address various health issues and to promote the health and overall well-being of women worldwide, much as Sivan-san suggested. By embracing innovation and harnessing its power, we can create a future where women's health is prioritized, where access to care is improved, and where the unique needs of women are met with effective solutions. But before we start, let's define FemTech, since there may be a great deal of confusion, and make sure that we're all on the same page. So FemTech is a growing sector that includes innovations designed to solve health issues that present solely, differently, or disproportionately in women. It covers all the stages of a woman's life, including health during puberty, fertility, perimenopause, menopause, and what we call the silver age or later in life. But moving forward, imagine we put humans on the moon before understanding how medications affect women differently. Let that sink in for a moment. We can map distant galaxies, but we can't fully map the female body. We are 51% of the population, physiologically unique, systemically overlooked, and underserved. This isn't just a diagnostic gap. It's an entire universe of untapped medical potential. Now imagine how many health mysteries we could solve by finally cracking this code. Every woman in the room knows the story, the dismissed symptoms, the delayed diagnosis, the medical gaslighting. We've been told our pain is normal, our experiences, just hormones. Our health is a niche market. A niche market? Really? How can half of humanity be a niche? That niche is 51% of the population, 4 billion women. Studies consistently demonstrate that prioritizing women's health leads to healthier families, stronger communities, and increased economic productivity. That niche is your mother, your sister, your wife, your daughter, your friend, you. Yet far too often, her health needs are ignored and underserved. What does underserved look like? It means she is more likely to die in hospital from a heart attack and have 42.5 minutes delay on average to first medical contact. That's the difference between life and death. Autoimmune disease, it could take between 4 to 10 years to diagnose, consulting with more than 4 doctors. And women, they're twice as likely to develop Alzheimer's disease. And this is just to name a few. In an age of technological integration and personalization, women's health remains underfunded, under-researched, under everything, and misunderstood. Innovation in this critical area is lagging far, far behind. The numbers tell the story. Investment in women's health represents less than 2% of total healthcare investment. Research is still in catch-up mode after decades of underrepresentation in clinical trials. The bias ran so deep that even the lab rats were male. This systemic neglect has real consequences. The lack of women-specific healthcare solution leads to misdiagnosis, delayed treatment, and dismissed symptoms. But women are no longer accepting the status quo. They're demanding better, creating unprecedented opportunity for startups to develop the solutions that healthcare has failed to provide. So after this glum picture, here's the encouraging news. It's time. From ARPA to Pivotal Ventures, investors are recognizing the opportunity. And here's the exciting part. The market is waking up to this massive opportunity. The numbers are showing explosive growth. More than 60% of FemTech startups have been launched in the 5 years leading to 2022, and the numbers are growing wider. 1,000% increased over the past decade. As of 2023, there are 1,800 companies globally that have raised a cumulative $1.6 billion in funding. Yet this still represents a stunning mismatch. While women represent half the global population, only 3.3% of U.S. digital health investment went to women's health between 2011 and 2020. The gap between market size and investment reveals exactly why this space holds extraordinary potential. We're not looking at an untapped market. We're looking at undeserved majority that's finally demanding the innovation they deserve.
FemTech isn't just a good science, it's a good business. With exiting the general tech sector, we're not just solving health mysteries, we are transforming medicine. According to recent reports, these are some of the key trends shaping the future of FemTech. We are seeing huge momentum in personalized women's health, powered by AI, big data, tracking hormones, predicting fertility, and tailoring treatments. Digital therapeutics are rising. App-based, clinically validated tools supporting mental health, menopause, fertility, chronic pains, and more, offering scalable, accessible care. Underserved areas like menopause, aging, sexual wellness, pelvic health, and mental health are finally getting attention after years of underfunding. Wearables and fem-specific biosensors are expanding, monitoring cycles, cardiovascular health, pelvic floor strength, and sleep, unlocking real-time prevention and early detection. There's rising demand for non-invasive, non-hormonal solutions for contraception, menopause, and hormone monitoring, often AI-powered, safer, and more patient-friendly. And finally, with more data comes greater responsibility. Privacy, security, and ethical AI are becoming critical to build trust with patients and providers. Together, FemTech is no longer a niche. It's becoming a full spectrum healthcare revolution across every stage of women's life. Where is this innovation actually happening? What ecosystems are best positioned to capture this opportunity? And why Israel? So, the Israeli healthcare system has the potential to be an incredible ideation and pilot location for new solutions in FemTech. And founders, as well as investors, can build on this infrastructure to build broader and more holistic solutions. FemTech is one of tech's hottest emerging sectors, and there are just few places witnessing a greater boom. Israel has emerged as one of the most dynamic and promising hubs for FemTech innovation worldwide. As of 2024, it ranks fourth globally in the number of active FemTech companies and is second only to the US in terms of global investments in the sector. We have over 100 startups operating today across multiple verticals in women's health. And though our domestic market size is relatively small, approximately $75 million US dollars, What matters here is not the market size, but the intensity of innovation, collaboration, and the venture creation. Israel's ecosystem is built on a unique combination of factors: a deep-rooted innovation culture, close integration between healthcare providers and technology entrepreneurs, world-class academic research, and an unparalleled level of cross-sector collaboration. Startups here are often born through partnerships that directly involve hospitals, universities, investors, policymakers, and global corporates from day one. And very importantly, we specialize in early stage ideation, clinical validation, and translational research, which allows us to move quickly from identifying an unmet clinical need to developing viable and scalable solutions. This is actually why we've created Impact.51, the first startup studio in the world exclusively focused on women's health. As category builders, we thought, how can we reimagine women's health by tackling systemic challenge and pioneering innovative solutions to fill that void? We're not just another startup. We're problem hunting, solution creating, machine designed to reinvent women's health from the ground up. We are company creators driving systemic change in women's health. Our vision? A world where women's health is understood, prioritized, and optimally served. Our model is radical. We don't chase ideas. We hunt problems, specifically the massive overlooked challenges in women's health that nobody else is solving. Understanding the needs, better defining the needs and the problem, and generating the data to assess and validate. In many areas, the data is missing or lacking. Developing scalable solutions that are practical and fit the needs of the market and can be scaled rapidly to help as many women as possible. We need to raise the bar on quality of these solutions. That's a must-have. Our first two cohorts dove into menopause and mental health, two critical areas long overlooked by traditional healthcare. 3 companies have emerged. We are building a dynamic innovation pipeline using a fast and accurate cycle development of many companies at once. We spark, grow, mentor, fund, and use our extensive network to push forward. But we're not just creating companies, we're creating a movement. Our approach? We assemble world-class experts. We curate top talent. We dive deep into unmet needs. We're not passive innovators. Investors. We are institutional co-founders, holding equity, driving solutions for conceptions to scale. So you're asking what next? Cardiovascular research is next, because when we say comprehensive, we mean it. Over the next 5 years, we plan to run 9 challenges cohort and establish 14 startups.
We've assembled a global advisory board of thought leaders, partnering with researchers, analysts, and entrepreneurs to pioneer a fundamentally new approach to healthcare innovation. We are a team of female founders. We represent diverse backgrounds united by one mission: to create systemic change in women's health. Our mission: to unleash an innovation pipeline that advances global health equity for women. Here's what we've learned. For decades, women's health has been treated as a niche, underfunded, under-researched, underrepresented. The gaps we see today are not coincidental, they're structural. And precisely because these gaps are so broad, systemic change requires something fundamentally different. not isolated innovation, but cross-ecosystem collaboration. That's why platforms like Impact 51 were created, to systematically connect real unmet needs with clinical, technological, and business expertise, to move beyond isolated startups and instead build an engine that repeatedly generates ventures grounded in real-world data, medical partnerships, and scalable solutions. This is exactly why we believe so strongly in international partnerships. Japan and Israel are a perfect example. Each ecosystem brings distinct complementary strengths. Japan's mastery in precision medicine and longevity research, combined with Israel's rapid venture creation and AI innovation, create unprecedented potential for breakthrough solutions. Doesn't stop there. That's why we founded, together with other countries, the FAB Forum, now bringing together FemTech leaders from 24 countries. Because if we want to move women's health out of the margins and into the center of healthcare innovation, if we want to build truly comprehensive solutions for women globally, collaboration is not an option. It's essential. So here's our challenge to you. What if every healthcare innovation began with gender-specific insights? What if we stopped treating women's health as an afterthought and made it the foundation of medical advancement? The breakthroughs are waiting. The lives, they're ready to be transformed. The potential we've been ignoring for far too long. We're deeply grateful to Sivan-san, Kita-san, and the entire organizing team for Sean-san, for Alessio, for everyone, for making this connection possible. To each of you for your thoughtful attention today, and to the global community of innovators who are driving this movement forward, including the amazing startups you'll hear from today. We're very much looking forward to continuing these conversations in person when we come to Japan in September. Remember, it takes a global ecosystem. So we hope you're ready to join us. And I believe we may have some time for Q&A questions. Kita-san or Sivan-san, if you want to help us facilitate, we're more than happy to answer questions.
We'd be more than happy to take questions.
Thank you, Michal. Anybody, do you have questions, comments? Oh, Olga-san. Can you come here? So Olga-san.
Also, like from the online members.
Yeah, sure.
It's important to check if some people have questions.
Hi, hello. Very interesting and so cool to see what you're doing at Impact 51. A question I had, we see lots of FemTech appearing, which is a great thing, and you mentioned the numbers 1,800. And yet we see also how hard it is to integrate them with the traditional public healthcare systems. So how is it working in Israel? And do you have any tips also on how FemTechs shall be integrated within the traditional healthcare system and kind of change them as well? Thank you. Shall I stay there?
Yeah, sure.
So thank you for your question. So there's a couple ways for integration. We believe in starting with the hospitals, HMOs, and patient organizations. With them, we get their unmet needs, so they're partners from the onset. They're also great partners for piloting and making sure that what we're developing is relevant. And this is going to make sure that we have a good product market fit on the one hand, and on the other hand, that we are also progressing the systems there. So we actually feel like they are a very crucial part for collaboration and partnership at each stage of the game.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll just add to that it requires a lot of work regarding policy making, creating awareness, and working like hand to hand with the institutions, the HMOs, and policymakers, of course.
The ecosystem approach, yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. そう、オンラインでご参加の皆さん、もしご質問があればお願いします。So, I'm going to summarize in Japanese a little bit for Japanese participants. So, Impact 51はイスラエルでウィメンズヘルスに特化したベンチャースタートアップスタジオをやっている 団体になります。で、最初の方に話されていたのは、ニッチではないっていうところをすごく強調されていたと思いますが、今、アメリカなどでもすごく言われていますけれども、女性の健康って女性特有の健康課題だけ、例えば生理とか更年期とかそういったものだけではなくて、女性の健康、人口 51% の健康のことを今言って、だからニッチじゃないんですよってことをすごく言ってくれていました。で、女性の方がやっぱり病院に行くまで時間がかかったりとか、診断されるまで時間がかかったりというところで、その特有の健康課題以外でも健康負荷がかかっていて、また資金とか研究もあんまり女性の健康には投資されてきていなくて、すごく遅れていますよというところを言ってくれていましたが、昨年、金税からですね、ワールドヘルスエコノミックフォーラムとコラボして、レポートが出ましたけれども、少しずつムーブメントが起きてきていて、ビジネスとしても育ってきていますと。でイスラエルは4番目に、このフェムテックセクターで、大きな国で、100以上のスタートアップが今育ってきているということで、今日、後半にですね、3社ですね、お話をしていただきますけれども、その中でもいろんなセクターが入ったエコシステムができてきていてですね、アーリーステージにインパクト50はすごく強くて、アーリーステージのスタートアップも、はい、サポートをするように、プログラムを提供してくれています。で、メノポーズとメンタルヘルスをもともと今されていますけれども、次は心臓、海外では女性の死因のナンバーワンが心臓疾患だということで、心臓にすごく注目がされていますけれども、心臓もやっていくというところで、日本とイスラエルでコラボをして、共同研究とか共同開発とか、どんどん広げていったりですね、そういったところを一緒にやっていきたいというところで、これがコラボの一番最初だと思いますので、これからどんどんコラボをして、女性の健康のプレゼンスをね、高めていけるといいなと思っております。何かオンラインで質問って来てますか？大丈夫ですか？
If anyone has any questions online, please press the raise
Ah,
button.
okay. So if anybody online has question like that, please press raise hand button. Then we can pick you up to speak up.
質問があれば挙手ボタンを押してください。
はい。質問があれば挙手ボタンを押してください。大丈夫かな？Okay, so we move to the next session. So we're going to invite Dr. Keiko Matsubara from ICWH. So she's going to introduce ICWH. It's their new initiative in Japan. So Dr. Matsubara, floor is yours. Thank you.
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。はい、ありがとうございます。はい、どうもありがとうございます。So, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for having me today. So it's really pleasure to be here, especially with colleague from Israel, which is one of the top runners in women's health in FemTech. So I'm excited to have this chance to learn from you and share what we're doing in Japan. Today, I'll give you a quick overview of how we're working to improve women's health in Japan, including some of the challenges we are facing. So looking for...
少々お待ちください。すみません。ここにクリックすると多分なくなっちゃうんですよ。ちょっと紙先。
失礼しました。So, first, let me briefly introduce the institution I belong to. Our main facility is National Center for Child Health and Development, a government-run hospital located in Setagaya in Tokyo, which is established in 2002. NCCHD specialized pediatric, perinatal, obstetric, and maternal medicine and function as both clinical and research center. In response to government initiative to expand support for women beyond perinatal period, new center was established within the NCCHD in the last fall. This new unit is called the Integrated Center for Women's Health, ICWH, and it is dedicated to promoting female and gender-specific medicine to support women's health across the life course, from adolescence, menopause, and beyond, all life course. The director of ICWH is Dr. Hiromi Komiya. She is an obstetrician gynecologist with deep expertise in menopause medicine and traditional Japanese medicine, Kanpo medicine. And now allow me to introduce myself. I serve as a chief of the Open Innovation Center in ICWH, which was launched within ICWH. Our mission is to co-create innovative solutions to address women's health issues through collaborations across medical and non-medical sectors. My own background is in pediatrics, with a focus on endocrinology and genetic research on rare congenital disorders. But now I moved to another career. So, 次、あ、来ます。ここですね。ありがとうございます。So MCCHD is the largest medical research center in Japan dedicated to pediatric and perinatal care. Our center's philosophy is the hospital and research institute function as one, working together to advance medical care, health, and research for the well-being of next generation. NCCHD has approximately 400 inpatient beds and staff of 2,000, including about 40 physicians and 250 researchers in our facility. The center provides bio-psycho-social medical care for children and their families, addressing not only physical health, but also psychological and social well-being. So let me explain a bit about the background, how we were established. In Japan, women's health has recently been positioned as our national priority. Key policies emphasize a life course approach, supporting women from adolescence to menopause and beyond. There is also growing awareness of sex and gender disparities in medicine and research. However, major gaps remain. Medical research has long focused on men, as you said, and care for women is still fragmented. So coordination between healthcare and social support is limited, and real-world data to drive policy and innovation is lacking. To address these challenges, the ICWH was established. ICWH promotes comprehensive women's health by integrating clinical care, scientific research, and social innovation. So let me briefly walk you through the 5 key pillars of ICWH. First, we were working on the development of data center that brings together clinical research and social data related to women's health. Second, we promote research based on women's life course and 6 differences. Historically, medical research has focused on male physiology. At ICWH, we aim to close the gap by supporting studies that reflect the unique biological and social experiences of women. The Open Innovation Center plays a central role here, facilitating collaboration between academic industry and government to translate research into practical solutions. Third, we are committed to sharing knowledge and shaping policy. Lastly, we focus on comprehensive care for women's health, pregnancy and medication information center, preconception care center, and postpartum care center. And also we are making a department of outpatient work related to women's category, like shown here. Yeah, I'm very sorry that is kind of busy slide, but this chart maps out women's health issues across the life course. These issues can be broadly categorized into 3 groups. First one, shown in blue, conditions that are unique to women, such as menstrual disorders, pregnancy-related complications, and menopausal symptoms. And second one, shown in yellow, conditions that affect both men and women, but appear differently in women. And third one is a green, shown in green, issues that require the involvement of male partners, such as fertility care, postpartum support, or response to domestic and sexual violence. The thing is that these issues are not limited to one stage of life. For example, conditions like osteoporosis, shown here. Oh no, where is it? Osteoporosis? Anyway, so appear in older age, but their prevention and care should begin much earlier, even in adolescence or young adulthood. So we must recognize that women's health is not just about pregnancy or childbirth, but a lifelong journey that requires a continuous, holistic, and inclusive support. So let me introduce my center, our Innovation Center. One of the key approaches to improve women's health is the development of practical, real-world solutions. And that is exactly the role of the Open Innovation Center I belong to. Our Open Innovation Center serves as a multi-sectoral platform connecting healthcare professionals, researchers, companies, government, and civil society. It focuses not only on medical or pharmaceutical solutions, but also on broader social implementation. The center supports researchers through collaborations and commercialization assistance, and also leads external outreach, promoting joint research and product development with external partners, multi-sectoral partnerships. In short, the Open Innovation Center is a kind of hub for co-creating impactful solutions that bridge the gap between medicine and everyday life of women. So let me summarize this chapter. So first one, women face a wide range of health challenges throughout their lives. And second one is the Integrated Center for Women's Health, ICWH, was established to address these issues from the perspectives of women's medicine and sex gender-based medicine, not only women's medicine. To promote research and development with a strong focus on real-world application and social implementation, the Open Innovation Center was launched with ICWH. So let's move on to the FemTech part. FemTech is very important, plays an important role in developing solutions for women's health. As a medical academic institution, we were especially interested in how FemTech can connect with healthcare. This slide shows 6 ways FemTech can contribute to solving health issues in women's health. This one, I'm very sorry, this slide is complicated too. So it helps women become more aware of their bodies and make informed decisions. And second, it also improves health literacy by breaking taboos and opening up discussion around sensitive topics. And third one, from clinical perspective, FemTech support self-monitoring and provide patient generated health data, helping to bridge the before, between, and after phases of care, treatment, medical care. And fourth, this connection between daily life and medical care is especially important for early detection, personalized treatment. The FemTech can also fill gaps where medical and social systems fall short, such as in workplace or school settings, by addressing needs like menstruation, mental health, and gender-sensitive design. So finally, it transforms. Finally, it transforms lived experiences into actionable data, informing policy, service design, and innovation. In short, FemTech is not just about technology. It's about bridging healthcare, the society in a meaningful and practical way. This slide illustrates the role of FemTech as a bridge across invisible process in women's health. Women face a wide range of health challenges, not only female-specific disease or conditions, but also sex-differentiated conditions. While some of these challenges fall within the medical care system, many occurs in the boundary in areas that lie outside of traditional medical care. These include the pre-disease states, subclinical conditions, and difficulties linked to life events, as well as structural and societal determinants. If left unaddressed, these issues may eventually lead to disease occurrence, a decline in quality of life, and difficulty maintaining well-being. So FemTech is not a substitute for medical care, but it complements the continuum of information, emotion, early signs, and behaviors beyond what medical system alone can cover. So in particular, FemTech plays a crucial pre-medical role by fostering self-awareness, supporting behavioral change, and helping women connect to appropriate healthcare services at the right time. So this slide shows the category imbalance in FemTech in Japan compared to the global landscape. In Japan, investment and product development have mostly concentrated on menstruation and fertility, as shown in the red rectangle. These areas are now kind of considered oversaturated, I think. But on the other hand, across areas showing blue rectangle, such as menopause, disease-specific solutions, sexual well-being, and PHR integrated models are still underdeveloped in this country. So these fields often face regulatory, cultural, or systemic challenges. There are many challenges to make solutions in these categories. Globally, however, we see much more activity and innovation in these blue areas, ranging from AI-based monitoring, hormone tracking, and interoperable health data platforms that connect with insurers and healthcare providers. As noted at the bottom of the slide, Japan's FemTech sector tends to focus on low-risk, consumer-friendly categories, while preventive, integrative, or medically linked domains remain limited. To truly meet women's health needs, we must expand into areas that bridge medical care and everyday life, like early intervention, chronic care, and sexual and emotional well-being.私がこれいかんのよね。これ紙が触っちゃうのにすいません。
大丈夫です。
Thank you very much. So this slide compares the FemTech ecosystem in Israel and Japan for four areas. First, in terms of the healthcare insurance system, both countries have universal health coverage, right? But in Japan, benefits are standardized and new technologies are adopted cautiously. In contrast, Israel uses integrated HMO model, offering generous benefits such as IVF coverage for women under 45, right? Second, startup investment and support are very different between two countries. Japan has small-scale VC funding and tend to focus on low-risk consumer products. By comparison, your country is a global leader in FemTech startup, right? I think so. With strong R&D investment, FemTech-focused incubators, and supportive regulation that enables rapid pilot testing. Third, when we look at FemTech development trends, Japan focuses mostly on menstruation and fertility, while areas like menopause and disease-specific care remains underdeveloped in this country. I think partly it is due to cultural and regulatory barriers in this country. Israel, on the other hand, is strong in medtech-oriented FemTech, with innovation in AI diagnostics, reproductive technologies, and connected wellness platforms. Finally, fourth one is in integration with healthcare and data system. Japan's FemTech sector is still largely separate from the formal medical system. Data is siloed, and non-insurance services face societal resistance. In contrast, Israel allows FemTech to be seamlessly integrated, I think it seems so, with centrally managed data and even public reimbursement for proven solutions, encouraging preventive care. I think there is a big difference between your country and my country about circumstances in women's health and FemTech. So this is the last slide. This slide shows the role of our center, my center, Open Innovation Center. OIC aims to be a comprehensive health promotion platform for women in this country based on bio-psycho-social approach that goes beyond the clinical care. Women's health challenges include not only medical conditions, but also pre-disease state, life event-related difficulties, and social determinants, many of which fall outside the traditional medical system. To prevent disease, reduce decline in... what's that? Go ahead. What's that? Like previous. Okay, I've got it. Thank you. Go ahead. So prevent disease, reduce decline in quality of life, and support well-being, we promote evidence-based research and practice, multi-sectoral co-creation, health literacy and knowledge sharing, and capacity building across sectors. Ultimately, OIC integrates biomedical science with human-centered innovation to improve women's health. So this is the last slide. Let me summarize this chapter. First one is FemTech serves as a social infrastructure, bridging gaps between healthcare and the daily life of women. But Japan faces institutional, cultural, and financial barriers to FemTech implementation. The last one is we, OIC, aim to become Japan's hub for FemTech validation and system integration. That's our vision, our mission. So thank you for your attention. ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. 自信ないかも。
Anybody have any question from the floor or like panelists? Oh, okay.
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
Maybe, Michal, do you have any comment or questions to Dr. Matsubara? Or maybe you are muted.
Dr. Matsubara, first of all, thank you very much for this
You are muted.
comprehensive.
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Cannot hear you.
So,
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Can you speak from the beginning again?
So first of all, Dr. Matsubara, thank you very much for your comprehensive presentation and for giving us a very bright picture about the Japanese FemTech landscape. You've been mentioning the differences between our two ecosystems, and I must say that I think that using those barriers and those differences can be very easily become an opportunity for collaboration using each side's strength.
Yes.
So I would love to hear from you if you have to start from somewhere, what would you point as a great place to start that collaboration? In which segment or field would you start?
Right now, we are interested in the menopause problems because our director of center is expert of menopausal period. So we have field and data and interest in menopause symptoms and the solutions for that. First of all.
Thank you.
Okay, and anyone? Oh, 加藤さん。
日本語か英語かどっちの方がいいですか？
じゃあ英語ではいお願いします。あ、はい、はい、マイクがここなんですよ。
Yeah, I have one question. So, like when you're talking about investment to the FemTech areas, you said like the period or menstruation area is oversaturated. But as a player in the field, I feel like especially like deep check area of the menstruation, still there's not many players, and but there's so many like period tracking apps and stuff maybe. But so I was wondering what you meant by like menstruation, because like as a player, I don't feel like it's oversaturated. So that's my question.
So I would like to say that the interest is the solutions are in the FemCare related to menstrual and infertility period. You said, yes, you're saying is right, I think. Not oversaturated, all kind of menstrual period. Some narrow category is oversaturated, especially related in FemCare product.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, okay.
I'll ask a very quick related question. Because you mentioned that one of the barriers in Japan, and I think it's worldwide as well, is the investment in FemTech in general. So how do you think what can we do to attract investors to focus on FemTech?
It's very important but difficult question. In my opinion, the biggest barrier in this country is a regulation by government. Too hard to clear. So, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. ありがとうございます。
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I'm gonna a little bit summarize in Japanese for Japanese participants. So, 松原先生、 昨年の秋に世田谷にオープンした ICWH のオープンイノベーションの室長でいらっしゃいまして、女性の健康を包括的に扱うために作られたセンターになります。で、デンターセンターとか精査医療とかですね、あと、政策へインプットしていくこととか、女性の包括的なケアとかクリニカルケアの提供ということを柱として活動をスタートをされているところで、オープンイノベーション、松原先生がチーフを務められるオープンイノベーションセンターは、そのハブになるために、存在をしてくれているところというところになっています。で、日本のフェムテックとイスラエルのフェムテックの比較もしてくれましたけれども、日本は生理とか不妊治療に今集中をしていますけれども、更年期、先ほどインパクト51の説明でも更年期っていうのがキーワード出てきていましたけれども、そういったところが遅れていますというところもご説明をいただきました。医療だけじゃなくて社会的要因までね、カバーをするように、これからどんどんコラボが進んでいくといいなと思って私も聞いておりました。はい。というところで、I wanna move to the next presentation. So it's gonna be like the Nachi-san from Israel. So he's gonna talking about facing the realities of aging, how FemTech care empower women in later life. So Nachi-san, can you speak?
Yes.
Okay, great. We can hear you. Yeah, please
Hi,
start.
hello.
Hello.
皆さん、こんにちは. It's hard to speak after such interesting lectures, but we'll try. And I'll try to make a focus on the elderly women. I'll share my screen. Here. You see it? I hope.
Yes, we can.
So I'll talk about a little bit about FemTech and elderly women. First of all, I'll do a short introduction with the Kedem organization. I don't know if you're familiar with us. Let's see. Yes. We're a nonprofit organization established 40 years ago. We we are an umbrella organization for over 230 elderly communities in Israel, in all the range, the nursing stage, independence, etc. I have 14 elected board members who've been elected every 4 years, and in our branch there are more than 50,000 residents. Our vision is simply to give quality of life to the elderly population, to develop and promotion residential communities with a sense of home and good care, and to develop that population. This is our vision, and we have several activities that we're doing. I won't talk about them a lot because I need a couple of hours, but there's a lot. We're working mainly with corporations, with the government entities, private sector, social society sectors, and the organization all around the world. To promote our aim to give quality of life to the elderly population. There's lots of activities, I won't talk about it. But one activity I do want to share with you because it's relevant to the FemTech discussion. We established this year Academy Innovation Hub. It's an accelerator that we getting our communities power, the 230 communities, power to we're checking all the time technologies since the coronavirus. Lots of startups coming to us, and we're doing a POC, proof of concept. We're checking them all at all the range of the H-Tech technologies, but we're technologies that are bad. We're taking them back, and the technologies that are good, some of the houses in Israel just buy them. And this is my best indicator that technology is really working. Beside the hype and the good vibes that surround each technology, we check it in home. If they want to pay it, it's great. And now in our accelerator, we want to give them an holistic a solution that each technology that's working, we're taking it to the world market. We have strategic partnerships. In Japan, it's Sivan's, our partner, and we have also in the US and the European market. And if technology succeed in Israel, that you have customer want to pay for it, it could success in the world market. We need to check the regulation there, etc. But it's a good start. And to complete the picture, we also got investors and VCs to escort such technologies. And we really want to help also the FemTech industry to accelerate it and to bring a good quality of life to women and the elderly women. So this is the Academy Innovation Hub. And now for the elderly woman, we talked about from the start of the day about the gaps, but I want just to focus on two gaps: the social gap and the health gaps that sits to health for good health to elderly women. The social gaps, I think part of them we talked and part not. So let's see. One of them is the low labor market participation. All the years that the younger woman, but when she got to the elderly stage, she has less income, 3% approximately, and less income connected to less to poor health, and we need to notice it. Secondly, we have the longevity that we know a woman lives a lot, couple years more, 4.8 approximately average, and it's not by rate, but in numbers, you have much more elderly women than elderly men, much more, and they have they need health services and treatment with bigger rates. Thirdly, the longevity leads also to loneliness and depressions because 33% of the women, 35 plus, are widows, when men are just 12%. You have more women, elderly, that are lonely and depressed, and it's connected also, like you know, to bad health. And this is a point that we need to treat, to get treatment for it. For low body image and the hormonal activity in parasexuality, that we know that sexuality leads to connected to mental and physical health. 30 to 40% of the elderly women describe a decrease in the frequency of sexual activity, and also sexuality connected to good health and the opposite. If there is less low body image and less sexuality, then you have poor health. Each culture and how we treat with this issue, but it's important to notice it. Medical research, this is the last point in the social gaps. Like you know, social through researches through the history focus on the male subjects. We know that in the late 90s, we also know that 80% of the drugs that we move from American market were harming women. And we need also today the research still prefer male subjects, although it's a little in different rates. In the health gender gaps, part of the diseases or the gaps we talked about today, but some we don't. We know hypertension and is higher than men in the elderly age. 80% of the 75 plus women are more likely to suffer from hypertension, from a high blood pressure than men. We have also osteoporosis. The drop of the estrogen in the menopause accelerates bone loss, resolving stress fractures and the hip fractures. 44% of the 60 plus are at risk of a fracture. It's double than men. Just for you to know that if a woman got a hip fracture, she has a 20% rate to die 1 year after the hip fracture. It's 1 to 5 to die from hip fracture, and elderly women are very likely to get fractures. So it's important area. Breast cancer is the most common cancer in women worldwide. Elderly, 80% of the elderly women have occur these cases, and it's also main issue that we need to get focus in the elderly women. Also, deafness and blindness. It's also the longevity that I talked about before is causing more cases of these issues. 60% of women aged 65% will suffer from vision problems than men. And I think this 60%, much of it is because of the longevity that they live longer. So you have more numbers of women that suffer from blindness or vision problems. And the last gap that I want to talk about is the decline of the estrogen after the menopause affects oral tissues. When a woman experience dry mouth, tooth sensitivity, and gum changes, 50% more tooth loss than men in 65 plus ages. You're saying it's not nice to lose teeth, but it's connected to lots of damages to health. It's causing depression. It's causing poor eating activities. It's social. It's hurting the social activities. It's hurting all the lives of the elderly woman just because she don't have teeth. And if they have less income and they cannot repair their tooth, it's all connected one each other. So it's also a important area. Now, if all the gaps, if and FemTech, how FemTech can connect to this issue, I have three insights. First of all, to eradicating loneliness through community platforms for women, for elderly women. There's apps like Peppy and Maven Clinic that aim for the elderly women, virtual support groups with their age. Studies are saying that they have reported improved sense of community. So the implementation is to focus also in creating those kinds of platforms and for 65 plus women. Secondly, precise hormonal adjustment applications, complications. You talked about it also in the last lectures. Um, uh, Women that using this technology reported improvement in life, quality of life, and you ask how hospitals and I don't know can use this FemTech. So in geriatric clinics, you can use hormonal monitoring systems and to get it inside the clinics and the hospital systems. It could help to detect hormonal changes and monitoring. And my last insights, it's in the investors investing in older women. It's good also for the woman itself, but it's good also for the economic. Women and the elderly women are good consumers of health services. They're making 70% of the medical decisions in the households are made by a woman. Each dollar that you put on the elderly women, you get $4. So the implementation is government incentives from FemTech companies, focusing also in the elderly age stage. You have lots of examples, and you talked about government activities, and I think the Japanese government doing a lot in the for the elderly population and also for the women, and it's focused on technology, and we have lot to learn from the Japanese government activities, and I also hope that in our cooperation we can get also the Israeli government to get inside these issues and to get more investments in the field of FemTech and H-Tech also. So this is, thank you very much. You have the QR if you want to stay connected with me. And I have time to Q&A, I think.
Thank you, Nachi-san. Thank you. ありがとうございます。So, from the floor or online, anybody have question to him? オンラインの方ももしご質問あれば、レイズハンドを押していただければと思いますが。それはよくたっていう。はい、ナチさん。はい。ナチさんなんですけれども、シバンさんにご紹介をいただきましたが、フェムテックとエイジドテックっていうところで、すごく親和性があるんじゃないかということで、今回、高齢の方のコミュニティの重要性みたいなところをお話をいただきましたが、そういうニューインサイトもどんどん入ってくると、面白いなと思います。Thank you、ナチさん、ありがとうございました。Thank you。ありがとうございました。Okay, so we move to the next presentation. We're gonna have like the 4 startups from Japan and Israel. So the first one will be the Kato-san from Japan. So she's working for Asahi, and then she gonna introduce the company about the company.
Hi, I'm Misako. I'm a PR practitioner at Asahi. We are a research-driven femtech company based in Tokyo, dedicated to advancing women's health through biological material that most women have, and that has the potential to change the future of women's lives. That is period blood. Our mission is redefine the period. Although period blood has so many opportunities, it's been overlooked and hasn't been studied or researched for centuries. We want to change this situation. But why has a period been neglected? Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt that period as something to hide or something unspeakable? I have. That is because a period has been facing stigma for a very long time, and we've been educated to feel ashamed of talking about it. This needs to change. Another issue is that period symptoms like intense cramps, excessive bleeding, or irregular menstruation are often overly normalized. But in reality, it is not normal to have such symptoms. These could be signs of endometriosis, one of the most common gynecological diseases affecting over 190 million women globally. If you leave it untreated, it can lead to prolonged illness, infertility, or even hysterectomy. We need a system to objectively monitor menstruation and let potential patients know that their period is normal. Last but not least, the research on women's health is lacking. Talking about endometriosis again, we still don't know the cause of this disease, nor the way for fundamental treatment. A definitive diagnosis still requires surgery. And that's not just endometriosis, it's the case for many gynecological conditions. It's 2025. This is not acceptable. And all these problems combined cause ridiculous waits for endometriosis diagnosis, which is an average of more than 8 years. We can't wait anymore to deal with this situation. That's why we are developing the Rihanna kit. The Rihanna kit is a period blood testing device we are building with the University of Tokyo. It will be able to detect biomarkers in period blood, leading to early diagnosis and treatment of gynecological diseases. A few companies worldwide are seeking to create similar products, but what makes the Rihanna kit unique is that you don't need a special sanitary products. Instead, you can use period pads or tampons that you normally use during your period. Also, it's non-invasive, and you can get the result with your smartphone within minutes, so you don't need to send samples to the lab. Since we are still in the research phase, it's not on the market yet, but we are actively collecting samples and refining its accuracy. To sum up, once we could redefine the period, what would happen? The stigma towards a period will be removed by redefining the period as an opportunity to know their own health. Women gain the power to objectively monitor their menstruation, and that will lead to early treatment of conditions. Finally, the period blood data we collect opens new doors for women's health research. Women's health is very behind in many aspects, but women are very lucky to have a period. Most women have struggled with or suffered a period for a very long time, but with the Rihanna kit, we can finally enjoy its benefits. Every month, there are more than 2 billion people around the world menstruating. Let's leverage that. We believe that redefining the period can be a game changer in advancing women's health. Let's change the future of women's health using period. Period. Thank you.
Do you have any questions from floor or online? Oh, okay. Oh,
A very short one. What's the business model currently? It's super interesting.
Yeah, so currently we haven't put it on the market yet, but we are probably the first phase. We'll be selling the products to the doctors as like a medical device. So we are building with a university, and then selling it to the doctors, and then pharmaceutical, and
it's supposed to be covered by insurance.
Yes,
Okay.
That's what we are hoping.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I see.
there's a lot of regulations, so
I
we
know.
still don't know yet. But yeah.
Yeah.
How is the education system works in Japan regarding promoting this awareness or knowledge for young women?
Yeah, regarding the period health, you mean, right? So I think in schools, there's still a knowledge gap between boys and girls, and there are a lot of schools who's only educated to girls about periods, and so to bridge this gap, we are also providing the period education program to the school and also to the companies, and a lot of like male workers, we provide the seminars. They say like they never even know how to use the pads, or like they don't even know like how to put it the pads to the shorts. So that's the current current situation, I think, yeah, regarding the period health in Japan, yeah.
And also school education, we don't learn about like endometriosis. Right? So it's only like the how to use pads or how, yeah, something like that. So
yes,
many women don't know about endometriosis. Yeah.
It's very important to involve also the place.
Right, thank you, Kato-san. ありがとうございました。Oh, the case is great. Actually, I experienced endometriosis, and then also like it took like 8 years to be diagnosed. So I really like 応援してます。Okay, so we move to the next speaker, and then next speaker should be Shiromit from Navia Bio, but she really looking forward to this event, but she cannot come to the event. So instead of her, so Hadas Jizo from Endocure will have a presentation. So Hadas, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. So please start your presentation.
Okay, sharing my screen.
Yep.
One second. Okay.
Now,
can you see it?
No, it's like looking at the WhatsApp. Okay, now we can see. Perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
So Endocure is all about automated ultrasound where nothing goes unseen. Are you sure that you don't have anything if you go to the physician and do all the tests and the result is just you have nothing? Taking it even a further step forward, are you sure you're not one of the women suffering from endometriosis or breast cancer? So why do wrong diagnoses occur? And it happens all the time in very, very high rates. The first reason is the human error, where physicians have to interpret imaging data, and they make mistakes. The second is that the standard MRI and PET-CT has low resolution. And I mean by slice thickness. MRI and CT operates with many, many slices of the body. And this makes them impossible to detect small tumors. And what about ultrasound? We use the very same ultrasound that exists today. So when the ultrasound is performed manually, the range of error is so wide from missing a disease to inventing one, because it is very, very operator dependent. The other reason is that information goes so fast because the data acquisition and the interpretation occurs simultaneously. And that's very, very difficult task to interpret it in real time. So here comes Revelan, our solution, producing objective, automated, high-resolution imaging. It seamlessly integrates to any off-the-shelf ultrasound. We don't want to reinvent ultrasound. We want to work with existing workflows. The system is the only one that exists today that is fully automated. And actually what we want to accomplish is that any operator anywhere in the world would press the button and get the same results, the same that happens today with CT and MRI everywhere in the world. Our unique solution also enables multi-modality imaging. That means we can use multiple types of scans at the same area of interest, for example, 3D contrast enhanced imaging. And with all of those, you can get a high confidence diagnosis on the spot. So I want to show you a short video.
Revelan, our automated ultrasound imaging platform. Once the patient is lying comfortably on the bed, the operator easily sets the desired scanning area borders by moving a laser pointer over the skin. Revelan's robotic arm seamlessly integrates with an off-the-shelf ultrasound device to enable accurate operator-agnostic 3D imaging. The scan starts as the robotic motion begins. The transducer moves in predefined straight lines in a parallel trajectory while directly streaming the data from the ultrasound console to the Revelan AI-powered software. The system generates standardized medical images with 10 times higher resolution than MRI. With Revelan, we allow early detection and follow-ups of tumors as small as 1 millimeter, as well as surgery pre-plans and ongoing treatment effect valuation. Revelan is optimizing ultrasound for better patient outcomes.
So that's our system. And what is the output? As you can see here from our first in-human clinical study in Shiva, very, very high resolution images. For example, you can see here a lesion and the reconstructed plane into the screen, yes? And similar MRI, when you do the same process, you get very, very poor data. This is the meaning of slice thickness. And this is the significance where we have very, very high density of images. So jumping to our market, we are talking about women's health, and we can provide imaging for endometriosis and many other women's health conditions like ovarian cancer, where the guidelines for ultrasound exist, but still many tumors are missed because of the reasons I explained before. And our first go-to-market application is endometriosis. I'm sure you are aware of the huge unmet need with this condition, where everywhere in the world there's a late diagnosis where the patients suffer from pain and infertility. And most of them are misdiagnosed because the lesions that cause the condition are so small that they are invisible in any imaging modality. And the standard practice to diagnose it is laparoscopic surgery. So we want to make a difference with this condition first, and then all the other dimensions I mentioned. We are a super fast, enthusiastic team that made the idea clinical ready system in a year. And in a year from today, we want to be with FDA clearance and start sales in the US. And this is our team, my partner, Professor Moshe Shoam, a veteran in the industry, and Ariel Ron, who lives in Boston. So thank you for listening, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have.
Thank you, Sarah. Any questions from floor or online?
Very impressive.
Very impressive. Voices from the floor. Okay, great. Thank you.
I believe that
we have an alert in Israel, so we're getting off for a couple of minutes.
In the meantime, I believe there was a question from Nikki Newfield for Asai last time that we missed.
Okay.
As open.
From the Nachi?
Yes, please.
Who?
Like what? Like
Hello.
Can I ask you questions, please?
Nikki, you should be able to.
Stav will present now, please, because we have a few disruptions here. So we'll let Stav from Arc Surgical to present.
Oh, thank you, Michal.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Stavi-san, nice to meet you. Yeah, please start your presentation.
Nice to meet you. Can you see my presentation?
Yes. What?
Okay. Do this.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So very happy to be here. Thank you for finding the time to meet with us. I would like to tell you about Arc Surgical. Arc is a medical device company that started in 2016, specifically addressing the issue of hysterectomy and myomectomy. These are very common procedures in women's health. And until 2014, nobody knew that many of these cases actually have cancer cells unknown to the patient that are being spread during the procedure itself. So the 2014, the FDA announced that 1 out of 350 women that are performing hysterectomy or myomectomy has undiagnosed cancer, that while having the surgery, they will actually spread that cancer in the abdomen and worsening their situation. So laparoscopy is the most common way to perform hysterectomy, myomectomy, and all the other GYN procedures. And this replaced open surgery, which is very painful and drastic, takes longer healing and more hospitalization time. So Labbox, our device, follow that trend. And generally speaking, in the world, hysterectomy is the second most common procedure in women's health. There are about 2.5 million procedures in the world every year. Now, what we developed is a very unique tool called Labbox. Labbox is a single-use, inflatable, double-wall tissue containment system that allows the surgeon to perform the big tissue removal in a confined space, preventing any tissue from leaking. I would like to show you a quick video that will show you how the device works. Do you see a video running?
Yes. Yes.
So we joined the procedure once the surgeon separated the uterus from the patient or the myoma from the uterus, and even a single doctor can perform this case laparoscopically. Our unique invention is the architecture of this double wall chamber that a surgeon inflates inside the abdomen and allows him to work in a rigid structure, like a clean room, inside the patient's body. And we have been able to prove that even a single blood cell cannot escape this double wall chamber. So even a big uterus can be cut into small pieces, and the patient only has a very small incision. Once finished, the surgeon deflates and removes the bag out of the patient, and the whole additional time is less than 5 minutes. Currently, what is being done across the world and also in Japan is surgeons are using very simple plastic bags that have been shown statistically and in clinical studies, also Japanese clinical studies, to rupture in significant numbers, 15 to 30%. So clearly, what people are doing now is using an unsafe tool to prevent a very risky situation. These are some of the tools that are currently being used in Japan. And as we can see, the big difference is these are a single wall, simple plastic bags versus Labbox, which has a double wall inflatable chamber, providing several layers of safety. So first of all, because we inflate double walls, we have two separate chambers. So even if a surgeon accidentally ruptures one of the layers, there is another layer preventing any tissue from leaking. Second, we work in inflatable abdomen. So even if the surgeon managed to rupture both walls, there is an air gap. He does not damage the healthy organs in the abdomen. And the third benefit is the delivery system. So it is very fast procedure for a surgeon to take the specimen and place it in the chamber and works in a more elegant way. We are currently approved in the US by the FDA for both surgical techniques of cutting the specimen, and this is manual and power. And soon we will have another version for vaginal morcellation. And we are focusing specifically on the women's health. This was a request by the FDA for companies to bring solutions to this unmet need. And until now, there are no good solutions. So we are very happy with the device that we were able to have. We have a very vast medical advisory board from around the world. And we're looking forward to find local Japanese partners to work with and distribute our device to the Japanese market. Thank you so much.
Thank you, staff. Thank you very much. Any questions from floor or online? オンラインでご質問ある方いらっしゃいますか？どうかな？
Still have a question from Nikki Newfield. This might still be the same as the last one.
Who is the?
For who? To who? For Sai?
I think might be, yes. So
can you ask the questions and maybe she can answer?
Okay, so how?
Nikki should be able to speak now.
Okay, so somebody who raised their hands for question, the host is now.
No, they can speak.
Yeah. Now they can speak. So can you?
Kita-san, Nikki Newfield would like to ask a question.
Yeah, I'm asking questions, and then it looks somebody from online having questions. Yeah. So let's.
To me.
Nikki.
Oh no, sorry, that was from the one before. It's okay, don't worry. Thank you.
Nikki. Oh, hi. Thank you for question. It's the question to go to Asahi, Kato-san or staff. Oh, it's muted, Nikki.
Yeah. I just hello.
Hello. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to ask how. From our Japanese friends, hello, lovely to meet you all. How would you integrate and test like a product like the one we just saw? What would the process be?
Okay, so it's like the Asahi, Kato-san from Asahi, maybe.
Was it to the?
Maybe.
Is it to the endocure?
No, it's Japanese って言ったので、多分、加藤さんだと思います。はい。She is now coming to here.
Hi, Nikki. Is it to Asahi or the question?
Either one. No, I was asking. Okay, for Asahi, I had a question for you. What kind of markers were you looking for? That's what I was asking for you and in general. And another question for both of you: how are you working within the Japanese system to test your product?
Okay. So markers, you mean biomarkers, I believe.
Right.
Right. So currently we are still developing and we are still collecting samples from women. So I can't really clearly say that until we publish the paper. But period blood contains not only blood, but uterus tissues, etc. So we are hoping that these could be our biomarkers for several gynecological disease, but we can't say it yet. Sorry, yeah, that will be my answer.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the second question was to do the test in Japan, you mean? You mean like テストはなんかサンプルのとかっていう。What kind of test? Sorry.
No, so your trials, do you work with this? Do you work within hospitals, within clinics? Who do you work with?
それは私かな。どうだろう。
多分、東大ってやるんですよね。
Yeah, so we are working with the professor in at Tokyo University, and we had the idea that we can make use of period blood. So we bring this idea to the professors in Tokyo University. But unfortunately, there's a lot. Most of the professors are male, and they don't even know what's the period blood, and they don't even show interest in periods. So we been putting a lot of effort to find the female professor, who's interested in our idea, and so
finally you found.
Yes. yes. Yeah.
Wow. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you. And then let's move to the final speaker. It's Karen. Are you available to speak? Karen from Okon.
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Okay, so please start your presentation. Okay.
Is this okay? Can you see and hear me well?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. So last but not least, I hope, Okon Therapeutics is a women-led women's health company. We designed a stento, that delivers drugs to the uterus. The company has been around for quite a while. We've been selling outside of Japan. We are CE approved, not FDA approved yet. We won a lot of awards, but I think the one we're most proud of is that we are part of the World Economic Forum, so that we can enable also impact in women global health. The product that we are bringing to Japan together with a partner called Women's Health Japan, part of the Kobayashi Group, is our ballerine. You can see the ball that is very different from what we experience in the last 70 to 80 years. This is a copper IUD, a non-hormonal intrauterine device that is used for contraception. The problem with the traditional devices is that they just don't fit the women's anatomy or the uterus, and I'll show you what I mean. Most of them are plastic T-shape IUDs, and some of the drawbacks include perforation. They go through the wall of the uterus, but many experience malposition because this is a two-dimensional device in a three-dimensional, let's say almost space or pocket. I want to show you our invention. We designed a stent that folds backwards. And so in essence, it has a built-in safety mechanism not to go up and perforate the uterus. It is a very small, it has the thinnest insertion tube in the world. So it's about a third in diameter from the size of any T-shaped insertion tube. And the copper beads are very robust and they are spread along the thread that is very soft and pliable. And once you have a ball, there's no malposition, right? A ball stays a ball no matter which way it turns. And this is a better, more fitting device for the women's anatomy. We've had over 150,000 users, including myself. I'm the CEO of the company. And when we compare to the traditional T-shape IUDs, both copper and hormonal, we see that the safety profile indeed is higher. So a lot less perforations, a lot less ectopic pregnancies, and of course, there are no malpositions. We own the three-dimensional space in the uterus. This is a product that is also granted in terms of patents in Japan, but all across the world. So the design of it, the beads of it, and also the formulation of the beads when we look at additional products that we are working on for women's health. So once we validated the ball inside the uterus, we will use this ball now to coat with different chemicals, pharmaceuticals, hormones to treat the most prevalent and popular diseases in women's health. These include endometriosis, uterine fibroids, heavy menstrual bleeding for women in the perimenopause stage, and we're working on different developments. Of course, these are expensive hobbies, but we're very proud to partner with a local Japanese distributor who, throughout the years, has also become our investor. But we do have a little dream to also put a little chip on these devices. We call it Disco, to be able to monitor and diagnose diseases. There's so much to learn, like we've heard today, in the blood, in the uterus, the microbiome, vitamins, minerals, any changes to the lining of the uterus in terms of color to detect cancers. And so this is what we are working on. Thank you very much. And I'm open for questions, of course.
The thing is going to restart the combination. Okay, I guess we're good. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for Karen. So, any questions from floor or online?
Very cool, huh?
Yeah, very cool. It's
very cool.
Yeah. It's when are you anticipated to come to Japan? Like your products, I mean.
Well, I have a funny story to tell you.
Okay.
We met at the parliament to advance women's health, and we were granted fast track for the product, which means 3 years. Like you mentioned, yeah, the regulatory approval process in Japan is quite heavy. But you know, Viagra.
I know, it's half a year.
Took 6 months.
Yeah, I know.
So, but we are very hopeful that PMDA will approve the product by the end of the year. So the product will launch early 2026.
Wow, very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, so are we.
We all of us like crossing our fingers to approval like fast. Yeah, great. Okay, so it's all presentations are done. So maybe Michal, do you have provide any comments in the end? Then maybe I wanna. Michal.
So,
okay.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Yes, perfectly.
So, first of all, we want to thank you again, Kita-san, Sivan, Alessio, Sin, everyone, Dr. Matsubara, of course, and everyone that participated. And the show must go on, even though we're not there physically. We're with you, and we really hope to continue and elaborate the relationships between our both ecosystems and beyond. From what we've heard today from all speakers and the amazing startups that showcase their amazing innovation, we think that there is a great infrastructure to collaborate and take FemTech and women's health further on, because it's ours to lose, and we have to create systemic change. We don't have time. Now is the time, and hopefully we can join forces together. We'll see you in September, and continue to reinvent and reshape women's health no matter where they are. It's our mission, it's our vision, and we have to work together in order to accomplish that. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Michal-san, do you want to close? Closing remarks.
I will have like a short, thank you. First of all, thank you very, very much, Michal and everyone, and the startup that present, really, and Matsubara Sensei, thank you so much. I really hope that it's just the beginning, and really, we are looking forwards for another wave, big wave, this time in September, because as Michal say, no other options. The show must go on, and we are waiting for you here, please. And please stay safe in Israel, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Sivan.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay, see you in September in person
Yes.
in Japan. Yeah. はい。参加者の皆様もありがとうございました。9月にミハエルたちが日本に来れるかもしれないということなので、その時にはまたご連絡をさせていただきます。Thank you very much for today. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Please, guys, I like small sandwiches and coffee, so please,